This is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, the Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on the Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weight. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
the Jason Walker Show.
Hey, what up? Welcome in to the Man Cave, the Jason Walker Show on a Wednesday. Hope you're having a great day and had a great day, depending on what time you tune into this. You can always go to jasonwalkershow.com to watch and listen, or Facebook or Twitter or Podbean or Network One Sports or a multitude of other platforms. What did I see? We had a 133% increase in listenership on Spotify in 2022. Pretty good. Pretty darn good. 49 states, over 50 countries tuned into this show. We appreciate you. Opening segment is brought to you by Montana Custom Log Homes, the premier log home company in the industry. We like to call it the walk-up, and make sure you check out Fox Business News. Montana Custom Log Homes was featured last week on Fox Business News as a fantastic business, and they are, and great people as well. Check them out, yourcustomlog.com to get started today. You can tweet us anytime at JWalkerSports. Coming up today, Guy Almquist, Capital Boys coach. We'll check in with Capital Girls coach, Katie Garcin-Forba, both 3-0. Girls ranked number 1 currently in the state, the boys number 2. And it's going to get into conference season next week, in next year, actually, because this is the final Wednesday of the year. We have 3 days left. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's crazy. You think the time goes slow when you're sitting there in February, but by November, December, you're like, oh, where did the year go? Speaking of where did things go, it appears, I'm seeing conflicting reports, but it appears that Hooters is closing most of its locations to do a rebranding. So apparently, boobs aren't it anymore for millennials. But, after spending last year down in Frisco and Plano, Texas for the national championship game of the FCS, I got to tell you, there's some great bars down there. What did I see? One of the tweets, thanks for the memories. That's just funny. And then the official Hooters Twitter page said it's not true. Fake news is what they Hootie the Owl called it. So we'll see. Remember yesterday I was talking about being in Phoenix and our flight delays and all that. But one thing that was really cool, and people always say it's a small world. We used to give my dad a hard time because everywhere we went, he would know somebody from North Dakota. And that's where he was born. And my family, grandma and grandpa on my dad's side were basically from North Dakota, Grassy Butte and Watford City. Still have family in Watford. But I was talking to my dad about this the other day. So we're in Phoenix Mesa Airport, not Sky Harbor, the smaller one. And I'm in the security line, and I'm standing behind a couple, an older couple, and I hear this guy say something about Watford City, North Dakota. And I was like, did you just say Watford City? And he goes, yeah, why? I said, well, my dad was born there. So we started talking a little bit about family history and names. And he goes, yeah, it turns out my cousin married a guy named Bob Walker from Grassy Butte. And I'm like, what was your cousin's name? And he said, Donna. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that was my grandma and grandpa. And so we started talking. Turns out we're like, third cousins or whatever, but still pretty darn cool. But it really is a small world. You never know who you're going to run into and where you're going to run into them. Usually it happens in airports. You hear stories like that all the time. But yeah, I mean, to find out that I have cousins, like third cousins, something like that, because it would have been grandma's cousin, dad's second, my third cousin. But, yeah, hello to the Petersons in Watford City, North Dakota. Just a small, small world. And I thought I'd bring that up today just because why not? It was a kind of a cool moment, you know? So, anyway, still recovering from Christmas holiday break. Lots of people still off this week, and that includes Montana sports. Now, tomorrow, Big Sky Conference opens up its conference season, and I know a bunch of Frontier Conference teams are going to be in action this week. I know the Carroll women have a couple of games at home. The Providence men will be playing down at Rocky, taking on Dickinson and Southern Alberta Institute of Technology. You can read about it at upargos.com. Great article. The Providence women were going to play Friday night up in Havre against a team from Canada. I know Northern's playing. Lots of Frontier action this weekend as they close out the non-conference portion of their schedules and then head into Frontier Conference play next week. Now, the men in Frontier are all 1-1 after the opening week back in, I guess, the first of this month, the first and the third. The women, it's a dogfight in the Frontier. I'm going to borrow a line from former Carroll men's coach. It's a battle royale every night in the Frontier. Speaking of Carson Cunningham, he is down in Incarnate Word. Has got his team 6-7 this year, but predicted to do good things. I know former Saints assistant Carlito Labarda Jr. is on his staff. Zach Taylor, the former All-American point guard, on his staff as well. And winner of the three-point shooting contest, was that 2018? Down there in Kansas City. But Zach's the director of basketball operations. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool when you see people succeed in things they love. So, and former St. Ryan Imhoff doing well as well at Purdue. He got married over the summer. So it's cool. Not much, like I said, not much else going on in Montana sports this week. You got bowl games. Do you watch the bowl games? Are you that football starved that we watch all the bowl games? I think there's 97 of them now. It seems like everybody in their, brother school get in. Yeah, I haven't watched one yet. I think one just got over. There's more tonight. You got the college football playoffs this weekend. Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, TCU, the top four teams. Now, I'm a fan that the fact of they're going to expand to 12 teams in the next couple years. That'll be nice, and get you'll still get a true champ. You'll still have good football, but it gives like a TCU or a mid-major school, a G5 school, a chance to win it all instead of just the top four. I know TCU's in it this year in the top four, but that doesn't happen a lot. Cincinnati last year. So I'm looking forward to it for sure. And then the national championship, January the 9th, the FCS championship, South Dakota State, North Dakota State coming up January 8th. That'll be on ABC on a Sunday down there from Frisco. Saw something on Twitter today that Twin Peaks was speaking of Hooters, Twin Peaks was trending, and the guy said, I thought it was because of all the North Dakota State fans. And I said, I ran into a lot of North Dakota State fans at Tight End Sports Bar last year down in Frisco when we did our show down there last January. So some great places. But I know the Hooters closed in Missoula a few years ago. That was about the only reason to go to Missoula. Kid, kind of. Anyway. You can weigh in on anything at Jay Walker Sports, the opening segment called The Walk Up. It is brought to you by Montana Custom Log Homes, the premier log home company in the industry. You got milled, handcrafted, and timber frame, your three divisions, over 15 floor plans, or you can go in with your own. The finest craftsmen available in not only the state, but maybe in the entire West. You've got over 50 years experience and family-owned, veteran-owned, woman-owned, and operated. Check them out. Montana Custom Log Homes, your custom log to get started today. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. Guy Almquist will join us, fill us in on the Bruins so far. 9 seniors for the defending state champs. Can they repeat? We'll talk to Guy Almquist coming up. Katie Garcin-Forba is going to join us as well. Don't forget, tomorrow we're packed. Brandon Day, Helena High boys coach. Ty Ridgway, East Helena High boys coach. And Kurt Sinnis will be back to talk about his calendar. That is out. He'll be signing autographs this week. So this weekend. So we'll talk to Kurt about his Helena Sports Greats 2023 calendar edition tomorrow. But Guy Almquist joins us next here at Jason Walker Show.
Strength, beauty, grit, superior craftsmanship. Our homes have it all. At Montana Custom Log Homes, if you can dream it, we can build it. With 3 divisions and over 50 years experience, we've got you covered. From a showcase home to a small cabin, we make your vision a reality. Because every cowboy wants a castle for his queen. Montana Custom Log Homes, crafting homes that last for generations.
Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show. Do you love to look at photos of Montana, from animals to landscapes and more? Are you looking for a place to get your senior pictures or family portraits done? Are you a business owner looking to upgrade the decor in your offices? Well, look no further than Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark has been shooting beautiful photos all across the Treasure State, from rodeos to portraits, and would love to work with you. Visit marklaroephotography.com to see many masterpieces of his work, then give him a call to schedule your own photo shoot. Or to purchase one of his fantastic pieces, stop by Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery on Custer in Helena. marklaroephotography.com.
Ah, summer. A time to work in the yard and get all those projects that you've been thinking about all winter done. And when you've had enough, go to Lucky Duck Casino and Bar to cool off, relax, laugh a little or a lot, your choice, have a drink and play your favorite games. There's plenty of new games and your old favorites. Now, if you don't want to work hard and the relaxing part sounds the best to you, then just head over to Lucky Duck Casino and Bar on Dredge behind Jade Restaurant. Happy summer, everyone.
L&P Grocery offers Boulder a convenient shopping experience, whether you're stopping in for a few things or stocking up for the week ahead. From fresh produce and meat to all the staples you need to feed your family, you'll find it here. L&P Grocery is also proud to have partnerships with local brands and carry products unique to the area. Stop by to exchange propane tanks, pick up fishing tackle, grab your prescription, or get your photo taken at the Pitcher Kiosk. They're delighted to be the one-stop shop for local area Boulder residents who want to support local business. Visit lnpgrocery.com and at 215 North Main Street.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Father's Day is coming fast, and what more would that great dad in your life want than a full detail from Auto Concepts? Or maybe he would just prefer a lift kit. It's also camping season, and now is the perfect time to outfit that rig with a winch just in case. Auto Concepts is your home for everything for your vehicle, including updating your car stereo system too. Auto Concepts also has gift certificates for dad or yourself. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
This is the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show on a Wednesday. Kurt Sinnis, Ty Ridgway, Brandon Day will join us tomorrow. We'll talk to Katie Garcin-Forba coming up. And Guy Almquist will join us here in just a couple of minutes. This segment brought to you by Rucker's Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn in Helena. As mentioned, not a lot going on Montana sports this week with it. High school's off. Practice, of course, going on. Coming off the Christmas break before they head into the New Year's and then starting next year. Let's see, saw this. Carroll men were supposed to head down to Westmont in Santa Barbara, California, but could not make the trip. Flight problems. So, let's see. What else is going on? Saw that. They were the Carroll men were supposed to travel down, could not, so they will not play. So they'll open up conference play on January 5th. Get back into it, rather. So, man, travel issues all across the country, and it has not been good. And, yeah, I mean, we got delayed by a day to get home, but at least we got home. A lot of people not. In Buffalo, man, northern New York just getting hammered by snow and cold temps, and then warming temps, so they're talking flooding now back east and in the Midwest. So one thing that was flooding last year was the Capital Boys. They could not be stopped on their way to a state championship, defeating my Bozeman Hawks. And joining us now, I'll ask him if he's going to repeat as state champs. Guy Almquist, the Capital Boys coach, his second state title earlier in 2022, and he joins us now here on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. First off, Coach, happy holidays. How was Christmas for you and the family?
It was great. Yeah, happy holidays to you, Jason. The family, we headed up to the Seattle area to see my wife's family, and it was kind of an exciting trip. With the vehicle, conditions weren't exactly perfect, but we got there and able to spend some time. Now we're back, ready to get out to practice again.
How does Christmas change as your kids get older?
Excuse me?
How does Christmas change as your kids get older?
Well, that's a great question. I would say they're not quite as excited, a little bit more demanding in terms of the gifts, and the price seems to go up considerably. I currently have 4 teenagers, so Christmas seems to be getting more expensive. Let's put it that way. But it's also it's fun to have them around. It's just different. I don't know that it's worse or better. It's just a different experience, and always a good time.
Favorite gift you got this year?
Favorite gift I got this year? I would say probably for me, not very exciting, but I got a little bit of cash to do with what I want. I'm the kind of guy that feels like he's got everything he needs, so maybe just a little spending money to do whatever is good for me.
Final Christmas question, but did you watch the new Christmas Story movie?
I did not.
Ooh. Were you a fan of the first one?
Yeah, I was going to say, is that something I should be doing?
I think you should watch that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it on the list. I've got some spare time over this week while I'm off work, so
yeah,
maybe that's something I need to be doing.
Yeah, take it on a bus trip with you, you know?
There you go.
We're talking with
Got a few of those coming up. So.
Yeah, you do. We're talking with Guy Almquist, Capital Boys basketball coach, defending state champs. Before I ask about the season, what's in the water right now at Capital? And I know things go cyclical in towns that have more than one school, but the last half dozen years have just been dominating in all aspects for Capital sports.
Yeah, certainly in a good run. I mean, I think you said it. It is cyclical. There's no doubt about that. If you're at a school as long as I've been, it's 25th year at Capital, you've kind of seen it all. My first 5 or 6 years where I was the head coach, we were in the state championship for football, and we had great soccer teams and so on and so forth. And we're currently in a good run now where we've had a lot of success in a lot of sports, from basketball to volleyball, to football, to golf, to softball. I mean, there's just a lot of good athletes there right now. And I think most importantly, there's a lot of kids who take it serious. They're doing the right things, and they're working hard at it, and they're not taking things for granted. I think that's probably not coincidence that this group of kids is having that success.
Talking with Guy Almquist, the Capital Boys coach, Mike Miller, State Farm Hotline. 3-0 to get started. You guys picked up right where you left off, but are you happy right now heading into conference play?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're happy. The alternative is certainly not as fun, so we're happy. The kids are working hard. We've known that this will be a different year. We think it can be a very successful year, but it's going to be different. We're just have different players, and we're going to have a different personality a little bit. What we're going to be able to do this year won't maybe be as aesthetically pleasing as it was last year, but I think it could be effective. And what I know I have is a varsity, primarily 9 seniors, that is working their tail off trying to get better. And we have, to date, we've sort of found a way to win every game without executing real well with some things we got to get better at. But I think you can learn some of those lessons, and you can see all the room for improvement. You're still 3-0. That's generally a good sign.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You do have 9 seniors. How do you find playing time for 9 seniors who have earned playing time?
Yeah, people have asked me, and I've never had 9 seniors. I've had 7 before. I had that once. It can be a difficult situation, but it can be handled, and it's up to the coaches and players collectively to handle it well. Certainly you have a lot of discussions before the season starts as to roles, and everybody has to understand that, and sometimes that goes well, sometimes it doesn't. You have to have kind of a feel for your kids as to whether they can handle it. And I think our 9 guys, they know where they're at. They're all competitive. They know what they can bring to the table. But as I just stated, they've got different roles, and some guys are going to play 26 minutes, and some guys are going to play 6 minutes, and that's just the reality of the situation. And I think any good team has a real good understanding of their roles, embrace their roles, and excels at their role. And I'm hopeful this group will do that.
Coming off a state title, what was the message going into the first 10 days of practice this year?
Well, the first thing is that no one cares about last year anymore. That's over. It's what have you done for me lately? This is a new team with new guys, and we want to be this year's team. We want to be the best we can be, and that's always the message for us in our program. Whether we've got a lot of talent, some years where we haven't maybe had much talent, the message is always kind of John Wooden's philosophy: be the best you can be, and that's how we're going to judge our success. And I think with this group, we got a lot of good athletes, very competitive, hardworking kids. That if we do the right thing each and every day, come into February, beginning of March, will be tough to handle.
We're talking on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline, Capital Boys coach Guy Almquist. I work with Steve Keller pretty intensely now as the SID at Providence. What was he like as a coach to coach against?
What would he be like to coach against?
Yeah, what was he like?
Oh, what was he like? Well, he had actually left before I got the head job.
Okay.
But I do know from being on Bill Pilgrim's staff at the time, you had to be prepared for a litany of things because Steve was well known for having a lot of plays, a lot of offenses, really taking advantage of mismatches. You know, sometimes when you're coaching, you always can feel, can you feel the other coach making adjustments, in-game adjustments, and everybody has a plan. You know, as Mike Tyson famously said, till you get punched in the face.
Right.
And everyone had a plan against Steve Keller's team until they punched you in the face. And so he was tough, I know, to go against. And again, they were going to be extremely prepared. They were going to be very competitive. And Steve's teams took on his personality. He hated to lose, and so did his teams.
What's your best story of Steve Keller you can tell?
Oh man, my best story. I
gotta have something.
I think all my best stories, I'm not sure I want to share on this particular at this particular time. Yeah, I mean, I know he's had some great teams, and when I first saw him coach, actually, was coaching as a girls coach, the varsity girls coach at Helena High. And I remember going to state tournaments and watching this guy patrol the sidelines, and they were just dominating at the time when Julie Brown was there, and Amy Mowat and others, and thinking that guy, you could just tell that he demanded a lot of respect, knew what he was doing, his kids believed in him. I would say that is by far the biggest thing that I can think about. When I think about Steve, those are the things I go to, is that he demanded respect. If you worked hard, you're going to be successful.
Yep.
And, and then I think I thought it was always interesting when he and Coach Turcotte got together.
Yeah.
Two completely different personalities working for success at his time at Carroll as an assistant. And I thought that was an interesting marriage that seemed to work very well.
Oh, yeah. They had some success for sure. Will you have a New Year's Day 6 a.m. practice?
No.
Okay.
I used to. I've gotten over that. I've gotten over myself on that. The biggest drawback of that is that I have to be there. Not that I'm going to be staying out extremely late, but I don't love to get up real early in the morning. So we try to make sure we have a productive practice, and we'll have a practice, about 10 or so, typically 10 or so in the morning. So that's what we're doing now. Although this year it's different because it's, I believe January 1st is Sunday.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about that. But yeah, when I first started coaching, we definitely were up early and doing this and that. As a coach, you think you can control everything, which you can't. I've been here long enough now that I just try to make it so we can have a useful practice, and it's good for the coaches too.
Okay, worst practice during the holidays you had as a player at Carroll?
That is actually a really easy one for me. Let's say it must have been the winter of '92 when I was redshirting at Carroll. I had gotten a stress fracture in my leg, and I was not playing. And Coach Turcotte made me come back Christmas night from Missoula in a driving snowstorm, so I could get back and keep the clock for the practice for the guys who were going to go off to the tournament. They were going somewhere. I think they were going to Iowa for a basketball tournament, like the 28th, 29th, and I had to come back. Wasn't playing or whatever, leaving Christmas night. You're a redshirt freshman. You're already frustrated at that situation. And I can remember thinking lots of negative thoughts on the way from Missoula to Helena about my predicament. So that one comes to mind real quick.
Which was worse, that practice or getting kicked off the bench after telling Coach Turcotte you weren't going to go in?
Well, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. I think I'm going to say that one still. Okay. I think I was ready at that time when I made that mistake at a young point in my career, that I was ready to get back in there and show Coach that was going to be behind me and what I was going to be able to do for him. But coming back from Missoula on Christmas night when I couldn't get on the court, that was probably tougher. Although maybe the conversation with my father.
I was going to say
after that was probably the toughest point of all that. So,
yeah, because it's leaving dad. The other is telling dad, "Uh-oh."
Yeah, I definitely that was a watershed moment in my life. Let's put it that way.
Final question before I let you go, because we're not going to talk about next week's games until next week. But it is National Card Playing Day. Are you a fan of card games?
I love card games, actually.
Okay, what's your favorite?
Yes, I love spades.
Oh, okay.
I love spades. I played a lot of spades. Learned how to play spades as we took buses from Montana to North Dakota in the middle of the winter, playing at Carroll, playing with the Yahoos that I played with. So spades and do you like hearts?
Yeah.
Poker, all that good stuff. But
Okay.
I actually like spades. I learned a new card game this summer called Tens. I don't know if you ever played that,
I don't
but
think
I'm
so.
currently trying to play that quite a bit. So
Okay. What
I
does
like
that
cards a lot.
involve?
What's that involved?
Yeah.
Tens are the wild card,
Okay.
and it's one of those games. You start with 18 cards, and you're trying to get rid of them in pairs and 4 at a time. And first one, sort of like hearts, to start as far as counting points at the end.
Okay.
I don't know. I just learned it this summer, so it's been fun.
I'll have to check that one out. I'm a big fan of cribbage.
Yeah, I like cribbage. I actually hadn't played a ton of cribbage and still haven't. But this year out at the lake, I tried to start learning cribbage, and I don't like it much now because I'm not very good at it. So I'm trying to figure that out. Get better. And I'll like it more then.
They have a cribbage night in Helena every week, I'm told.
Do they?
Yeah, at like the Moose Lodge or something. So I've got to go check that out because I love playing cribbage.
Yeah, no, that's fun. I'm trying to start playing that with my sons out there. So
it's so much fun.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Well, enjoy the rest of the holiday and the time off, and can't wait to start talking Western Conference hoops next week with you. And enjoy the new year.
All right, you too. Happy New Year, and we'll talk to you next week.
That is Guy Almquist joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. It's not just a bundle, it's your home, it's your auto, it's your life. Mike understands that. Get hold of Mike Miller State Farm in Helena today. Cribbage. I love cribbage, and I've got to find out where it is. And I thought I had a friend send me, if you know, tweet me, where is the cribbage night in Helena, at Jaywalker Sports on the Twitter, because I'd love to go play. It's just a great game. My family grew up, I learned how to play pinochle, but in North Dakota, the game is called whist, Whist. It's like pinochle, but yeah, if you want to go play some cribbage, let me know, at Jaywalker Sports. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. When we return, Katie Garcin-Forba will talk about her girls' Bruins. That's next. This is the Jason Walker Show.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
L&P Grocery offers Boulder a convenient shopping experience, whether you're stopping in for a few things or stocking up for the week ahead. From fresh produce and meat to all the staples you need to feed your family, you'll find it here. L&P Grocery is also proud to have partnerships with local brands and carry products unique to the area. Stop by to exchange propane tanks, pick up fishing tackle, grab your prescription, or get your photo taken at the Pitcher Kiosk. They're delighted to be the one-stop shop for local area Boulder residents who want to support local business. Visit lnpgrocery.com and at 215 North Main Street. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Do you love to look at photos of Montana, from animals to landscapes and more? Are you looking for a place to get your senior pictures or family portraits done? Are you a business owner looking to upgrade the decor in your offices? Well, look no further than Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark has been shooting beautiful photos all across the Treasure State, from rodeos to portraits, and would love to work with you. Visit marklaroephotography.com to see many masterpieces of his work, then give him a call to schedule your own photo shoot. Or to purchase one of his fantastic pieces, stop by Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery on Custer in Helena. marklaroephotography.com.
Strength, beauty, grit, superior craftsmanship. Our homes have it all. At Montana Custom Log Homes, if you can dream it, we can build it. With 3 divisions and over 50 years experience, we've got you covered. From a showcase home to a small cabin, we make your vision a reality. Because every cowboy wants a castle for his queen. Montana Custom Log Homes, crafting homes that last for generations.
Everyone knows about Dinners Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinners Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients, along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinners Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com.
Ah, summer. A time to work in the yard and get all those projects that you've been thinking about all winter done. And when you've had enough, go to Lucky Duck Casino and Bar to cool off, relax, laugh a little, or a lot, your choice. Have a drink and play your favorite games. There's plenty of new games and your old favorites. Now, if you don't want to work hard and the relaxing part sounds the best to you, then just head over to Lucky Duck Casino and Bar on Dredge behind Jade Restaurant. Happy summer, everyone.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show. Final segment on a Wednesday. Don't forget tomorrow, Kurt Sinnis will wax poetic about his 2023 Helena Sports Greats calendar. 36 unbelievable athletes. Ty Ridgway, East Helena High boys coach. Brandon Day, Helena High boys coach, will join us tomorrow as well. Ordered a new book for both my daughters. It's called Letters to Every Daughter, and it's by Ashley Giris. She's going to join us next week to talk about this book. And it's just basically she decided to start writing letters to her daughter. And we'll talk to her about that next week. And if you've got a daughter, you might want to tune in. On this day in history, coming up, the walk-off and more. We'll also, Rece Davis, the host of College Game Day, is going to name his top 3 College Game Day locations in 2022. So we'll play that for you coming up as well. Capital Girls, 3-0, ranked number 1 in the state. And joining us now to talk about that on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline is none other than the Bruins girls head coach. Her name is Katie Garcin-Forba, here on the Jason Walker Show. All right, Coach, first off, happy holidays. How was your Christmas? Did you guys go anywhere warm?
Happy holidays to you guys, too. We did not. We actually stayed home this year. My whole family is now in Helena. My parents moved up here, and so did my brother and his family. So we actually stuck around and did Christmas with them, and it was fun. Controlled chaos with the kids opening gifts, but, yeah, it was a blast.
Favorite gift that you got this year?
Ooh, favorite gift. That's tough. I don't know. I got some new headphones and I desperately need some, so probably those. Yeah, probably that. My husband and I, our gift to each other every year is just to plan our next vacation. So I think that's a pretty good gift, and we're in the midst of figuring out where we're going next. So
that's not bad. Where did you guys go last year, or this year? I guess.
Last year we went to Hawaii over Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the next trip?
Still to be determined, but it's looking like we might do Hawaii again, just a different island.
Oh, okay.
So.
You know, my son's in Hawaii for the next 3 years.
Oh,
so
I was going to say, is he stationed over there?
he is. Wheeler Army Base. I think it's on the Big Island.
Very cool.
So,
have you been over there yet?
No, because he just got there. I wish I was there last week, although I was in Phoenix when Montana was cold. So that wasn't
I was going to say, I saw some tweets that showed you were not in the minus 35 weather, and I was a little envious of that.
I almost felt bad. The only time I actually felt bad is when my wife had to go shovel the snow and it was 35 below. So I did feel bad about that because the snowblower wouldn't start. Hence, I found out today it was out of gas. That would be a big deal. So, but yeah, so anyway.
Hopefully you got her a really good Christmas present.
Of course. Come on. Nothing beats me. She gets me every day of the year. It's like Christmas every day for her.
The gift that keeps on giving.
That's right. We're talking with Capital Girls coach Katie Garcin-Forba. She's on her way to practice. 3 games under your belt. One obviously got canceled, but what do you like so far about your 3-0 Bruins?
You know, I love our grittiness with this group, and I love how deep our bench is this year. We can comfortably go 10 deep, which is the first time since I've been at Capital that we've had that sort of rotation, and I think it's a huge benefit for us. We've noticed in every game we've played, the second half, other teams start to get really tired, and we can wear them down, and I love our depth. I love where our chemistry's at, but I just think it's a group that's going to keep getting better and better every time they step on the court together.
You guys do return some, but you have some newcomers. How are they mixing so far? Obviously pretty good, 3-0.
Yeah, I think we've got some players that come in that, it's now their opportunity to be impact players from us. And I think, players like Taylor Sayers and Gracie Mokel have come in really prepared and took advantage of the off season just to give us, that presence that we graduated from last year's group. And then obviously the kids we returned, they're back, I think, better. They've all improved from last year. And so I think that's a big key for us is just having some players step into new roles and, have success early in those roles.
I did see a tweet from one of your games. Chris Peterson from the paper put it out, but it was back-to-back photos of Taylor Sayers and Coach Almquist's daughter. And I'm like, well, there's some pretty good genes right there. So
absolutely.
When you have basketball coaches as parents, you're probably going to be pretty good.
Yeah, it's funny because, you talk to those two about, what we need from them this year and goals and expectations, all of that. And they're total coaches' kids. And I just love it. They see things differently than a lot of other players just because that's what they, have grown up around. And it's really fun. We've got some really fun kids, but it's just funny when they'll make a comment and they'll just laugh and go, yeah, you're a coach's kid. That's for sure.
When you have film sessions, do those two break it down even better than you?
They definitely contribute for sure, and I guarantee they're doing film sessions at home too. Like they probably watch twice as much film when it's all said and done. But yeah, no, I know they're definitely very. Just the way they see the game kind of play out too. It's definitely from a unique perspective, and you can tell it from growing up around parents that have watched film around them or have broken down the game when they're watching games. And so it's a different perspective, a different view as the plays are kind of rolling out and what players are doing, things like that.
Well, and it's nice if they're on the bench. I mean, you have extra coaches that can relate to the players on a more personal level.
Absolutely. And they can see things on the court that we may not see from that perspective. And, we try and empower our players to, if they see something, then, make a suggestion. We don't have all the answers. And so it's like, it's a benefit to be able to get their perspective and, they'll see a set because a player just hit a shot and they're like, hey, can we look to run this? Because, and they just see it from that lens, which is really cool.
We're talking with Katie Garcin-Forba. I found out, and I did not know this, but coming back, it took us 5 hours to get from Missoula to Great Falls last Thursday. I know you don't feel bad for us, but flew home with the Providence boys. I did not know that Steve Keller coached your husband.
I did not know that either.
Yeah, he told me that the other day.
Huh.
So there you go. Now you have something to bring up with the man.
There you go. Now I know. The more I know.
He was coached by a pretty good one. Obviously you were too, but how do you guys, I mean, I don't know if I've asked you this. Do you talk hoops at home?
Say that again.
Do you talk hoops at home?
You were muffled there.
Oh, do you talk hoops at home?
Oh, do I talk hoops at home? We really try not to. We talk about things that went well kind of after the fact, but I think my poor husband, it's like day before games, a couple days before games, I'm breaking down film, I'm doing scouting report, I'm writing practice plans. He comes to every game. I try to keep that outside of our house because it's like, it consumes our world. And so I just try, he'll talk hoops, but I try to keep it out of it as much as possible.
3-0, like I mentioned, a couple of great wins over Bozeman Senior and Skyview. Now you turn your attention to your side of the conference and your side of the state. We'll talk next week more in depth about Hellgate and Big Sky, but when you practice this week, what's the focus?
I think the focus this week, before we turn our attention towards anybody in our conference, is just kind of brushing off the rust and the dust from the last 7 days of being off, refreshing everything, and then starting to focus in on the things we want to pull out in our league. There's certain stuff that we didn't show in preseason that we intentionally want to be able to pull out in league, whether it's first or second half. So we start focusing on that a little bit more. And, really the first half, the first 4 games, it's like fast and furious. You got 10 practices to get stuff in before first game. And so you're just trying to make sure you can run an offense of some sort and keep the ball in front of you on defense. But I think now we get to refine some of that and focus on when teams start to make adjustments. This is what our attack decision is. This is our next decision on offense. And then this is how we counter defensively. And so, and then putting in some new stuff. So we'll start that today and just keep repping that. So whenever we need to pull that out into league or even at the divisional tournament, we've got that in our back pocket.
Katie Garcin-Forba, Capital Girls coach on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. Couple final ones for you, but I had a great basketball question. Oh, what's in the water? I know things are cyclical when you have more than one school in a city, but what's in the water at Capital? Because the last 6 years between volleyball, girls basketball, boys basketball, and football, not to mention all the other sports, it's just Capital is dominating right now.
I think a lot of it attributes to the dedication we've seen from kids in the off season and trying to help build our programs with some collaboration. We coordinate a lot of stuff from the coaching level for summer workouts and weight training and encouraging multi-sport athletes. Every coach here loves multi-sport athletes. And so I really think that's a big testament to the success that our programs have seen. And if you look back at the kids that played on multiple championships, they were a part of football and boys basketball or volleyball and girls basketball. And I think that's a big part of it because we encourage kids to be diverse in their sports backgrounds. But then we also coordinate a lot of coaches to make sure it's the best experience for them. So I think it's kind of 2 parts with that, but we talk a lot as coaches and we coordinate a lot as coaches. And I think that's a unique thing that not a lot of schools do.
Final question for you. It is National Card Playing Day. What's your favorite card game?
My favorite card game. Oh, we banned those from my house because we're both too competitive. So my whole family, I don't know the last time I played a card game. I got to go old school and go like solitaire.
Okay. So,
yeah.
Okay. That's kind of boring though, because that means you're a loner.
Yeah. As I get older, that's not a bad thing.
I love cribbage.
Oh, cribbage is a good one. I'm not good enough, or I don't know it well enough to really be good at it or get into it, but it's a game that I want to get better at and I want to play more. And so I need somebody to really teach me, because I've never had a good teacher on it. But cribbage that's one I want to learn.
I'm a really good teacher. I taught all my kids so far, except for the 4-year-old and my wife. So, and they have a cribbage night in town.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You just go play cribbage, like bingo.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'll let you know when that is, because that would be awesome.
Okay. Sounds good.
Hey, have fun at practice. Are you going to do the 6 a.m. practice on New Year's Day?
No. Gosh, no.
That's more for your benefit, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Even though I'm not going to be out late the night before, I don't want to be up at 6 a.m. I have been through those practices as a player, and those were absolutely the worst practices because we were terrible. So I know our limitations.
Okay, go back to your college days. What was that like? Because, the coaches know the kids are going to have some fun on New Year's Eve, high school or college, obviously more college. But what was it really like for you guys? Did you have those early morning New Year's Day practices?
We did 1 year, and the next year our coach was like, yeah, we're never doing that again. So, and I wasn't ever a big drinker or partier in college. And so for me, it wasn't like the hangover part of it or anything like that. It was just, I was not a morning person. So 6 a.m., having to get up at like 5 to get to practice. We were terrible. We were, yeah. Awesome. I'll never forget. It was like, we're never doing that again. That was a waste of 2 hours.
Exactly. And Coach could have been sleeping too. So, hey, yes. Happy holidays. Enjoy your 2 glasses of wine on New Year's Eve while you watch the ball drop. And good luck the rest of the season. We'll talk every week from now on.
Sounds good. I appreciate it. Happy holidays to you and your family, and we'll talk next week.
That is Katie Garcin-Forba joining us. Mike Miller, State Farm Hotline. Get a hold of Mike for all of your insurance needs, home, auto, life. It's not just a bundle. It is your life. And Mike will take care of you like family. Mike Miller, State Farm in Helena. By the way, this segment brought to you by Bowser's Lucky Dog Casino, hot games, warm folks, and cold beer. So make sure you stop in there on Dredge Avenue in Helena. College game day was in Bozeman, as we know, for the Cat Grizz game. And Rece Davis, the host, came out with his favorite top 3 choices for college game day. Here we go.
My number 3 stop this season was Knoxville, Tennessee. We actually went there twice, and it was electric both times. Both games were phenomenal, the Tennessee-Florida game and the Tennessee-Alabama game. But the welcome we got after a 6-year or so absence from Rocky Top was overwhelming. My number 2 stop this year was Lawrence, Kansas. Now, I've been to KU tons of times for basketball, but it was our first trip there for football after the Jayhawks revitalized their program. And there were people as far as we could see up the hill behind us, so excited to have that signature moment for their football program, and it was great to be in Lawrence. The number 1 stop this year was Bozeman, Montana for the Brawl of the Wild, Montana and Montana State. Now, it was freezing. It froze up our generators. We didn't have power for a while. My toes got feeling back after about 2 weeks, but the warmth and the energy from that crowd, so excited to have us in Big Sky Country, that made it my favorite stop of the season.
So there you go. Rece Davis, host of College Game Day, picking Bozeman as the top spot. They got just about 2.2 million viewers for game day that night or that day. And what an amazing story it was. It might be one of the top 5 stories of the year in the state of Montana when it comes to sports, for sure. All right, let's do on this day in history. It is December the 28th. We mentioned National Card Playing Day. By the way, I found out cribbage nights in Helena, Tuesdays at 6:30 at the Moose Lodge, North Montana Avenue. So you can check them out on Facebook, Helena Grassroots Cribbage Club, if you want to go play cribbage on Tuesday nights. You get 9 games a night. Takes about 2.5 to 3 hours. So, and it all depends on cards. I know this. Let's see. 1905, International Athletic Association of the U.S. was founded. Would become the NCAA in 1910. 1944, Montreal right winger Maurice the Rocket Richard becomes the first player in NHL history to score 8 points in one game. He had 5 goals and 3 assists. 1958, the so-called greatest game ever played. Baltimore Colts win the 26th NFL championship, beating the Giants of New York 23-17 at Yankee Stadium in the first ever sudden death overtime game in NFL history. 17 future members of the Pro Football Hall of Fame in that game. 1975, we heard about this story. What is his name? I'm blanking. His name's Roger. He's great friends with Roger Staubach. But he's with the National Football Foundation. The Hail Mary, 32 seconds left, NFC divisional playoff game. Cowboys quarterback Roger Staubach throws a legendary 50-yard winning touchdown pass to Drew Pearson to beat the Vikings. The Hail Mary play was born. I think Roger Staubach called it the Hail Mary. 2008, Detroit Lions lose 31-21 to Green Bay at Lambeau, become the first team in NFL history to go winless in a 16-game season. And 1 year ago today, Hall of Fame coach, won the Super Bowl in 76, the great sportscaster, 16 Emmys. John Madden died on this date at the age of 85, 1 year ago today.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
The walk-off presented by Cafe Zydeco, where the Big Easy meets the Big Sky. Make sure you stop in for the best Cajun food this side of New Orleans. Might head there tonight, get a po' boy. Barbecue beef po' boy. So good. Beignets, really good. You got gumbo, jambalaya, everything you can imagine. Cajun-wise. And it's seriously, I'm not just saying this because they're a sponsor. They are unbelievable at Cafe Zydeco. The staff is friendly. The food is amazing. And the prices right there. And they support our military and our first responders and our law enforcement. Those who protect us, they get a free drink with their lunch or dinner. So make sure if you're a member of an ambulance crew or a cop or a sheriff or HP or whatever, military too, stop in to Cafe Zydeco, and they give you a little bit of love. I had a great time today. Hope you did too. Guy Almquist, what we learned from him, he got some cash for the holidays and has unbelievable stories about Steve Keller, the University of Providence coach. By the way, Coach Keller told me this, and Coach Almquist reminded me. Coach Keller played stall ball back in 1989 and against Sentinel. Now, he told me this. He stalled against Sentinel at the state tournament in Missoula, 2006. And then I think it was 2003 or 4 in Bozeman, he stalled in Four Seasons Arena at Great Falls at the state tournament against Bozeman. It was tied after 3. And Coach Keller told me if we were close, ahead, or tied, I was going to stall the last quarter. So the quarter starts, Helena High has the basketball. He stalls for over 4 minutes until Bozeman starts playing defense again with Mike Cole as the head coach. They come out and get a foul. They make some free throws. Bozeman goes down and score. They do the exact same thing and stall and end up winning the game. Unbelievable. Stall ball doesn't work anymore. You got the shot clock. We'll talk to coaches about that coming up throughout the season. Tomorrow on the show, Kurt Sinnis will talk about his 36 2023 Helena Sports Greats calendar. We're going to talk to East Helena High boys coach Ty Ridgway and also check in with Helena High boys coach Brandon Day. That's all coming up tomorrow. Thanks to our tremendous listeners, viewers, sponsors. We love you all. Couldn't do it without you. Bless me. No, I don't have COVID. Tomorrow, great show on tap. If you missed anything, go to jasonwalkershow.com. You can tweet us anytime at jwalkersports. And we'll chat tomorrow. Have yourself a wonderful Wednesday. And we'll see you back here on Thursday.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.